All right, let's dive into one of my absolute favorite patterns in algebra, completing the square. Now, I know it sounds kind of formal, but trust me, it's really just about solving a simple puzzle. And once you see the pattern, you'll be able to solve it every single time. Let's do this.
So, what's the end game here? Well, our goal is to build something called a perfect square trinomial. Just think of it like the finished puzzle. It's this perfectly complete, balanced expression that you can factor down into something super neat, like x plus some number squared.
Okay, so check this out. Imagine I hand you this incomplete puzzle. You've got x squared plus 6x, and then a blank spot, a question mark. There is one specific number, and only one, that fits there to make the whole thing perfect. So the big question is, how in the world do we find it?
And here it is, laid out plain and simple. On the left, that's our problem, the puzzle with the missing piece. On the right, that's our goal. That's what a perfect square looks like. You can see that x squared plus 6x plus 9 is the same thing as x plus 3 all squared. Our whole job today is figuring out the secret to finding that 9.
So how do we find it? Well, like any good puzzle, there's a trick, a secret recipe, you might say. And we're going to call it the formula for the magic number, because it's the one special number that unlocks this thing every time.
And here it is, the secret recipe. It looks simple because, honestly, it is. For any expression that starts with x squared plus bx, the magic number you're looking for is always found by taking that b value, the number hooked to the x, chopping it in half, and then squaring whatever you get. Let's just boil that down into 3 steps you can burn into your brain. Step 1, find your b. Step 2, cut it in half. Step 3, square that result. That's the whole game. Let's make it a little chant, okay? Half of b, then squared. Got it? Half of b, then squared. Easy.
All right, enough talk. Theory's one thing, but we need to see this thing in action. We're going to run through 3 different levels, kind of like a video game. We'll start easy, build up some confidence, and by the end, you're going to be a pro at this.
So, level 1. Let's go back to our original puzzle, x squared plus 6x. This is the perfect place to start, because our b value, that's 6, is a nice, friendly, even number. No curveballs yet.
Okay, let's use our 3-step recipe. What's step 1? Find b. That's 6. Step 2, half of b. Half of 6 is 3. And step 3, square it. 3 squared is 9. And boom, just like that, we found our magic number. It's 9.
And check out the finished product. When we pop that 9 in, we get x squared plus 6x plus 9. And would you look at that? It factors perfectly into x plus 3 squared. Now, here's the really cool part, the big aha moment. You see the 3 inside the parentheses? That's the exact same number we got in step 2, right before we squared it. That is not a coincidence. That's the whole pattern.
Awesome. Let's kick it up a notch to level 2. Now we've got x squared minus 10x. Okay, so the only real twist here is that our b value is negative. Does our secret recipe still work? You bet it does. We just follow the exact same steps. Don't overthink it. Step 1, b is negative 10. Step 2, what's half of that? Negative 5. And step 3, what happens when you square negative 5? Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive, so we get positive 25. That's our magic number.
And there it is, our perfect square, x squared minus 10x plus 25. And it factors beautifully into x minus 5 squared. So the big takeaway here, the negative sign from the original problem just follows you right down into the final answer. The sign just sticks. Simple as that.
Okay, you ready for the final boss? Level 3. We've got x squared plus 5x. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh no, 5 is an odd number. This is going to get messy with fractions. Don't panic. Just trust the process. The pattern always works. Let's just run our chant, half of b, then squared. Step 1, b is 5. Step 2, half of 5 is, well, it's just 5 over 2. Seriously, don't reach for a calculator, just leave it as a fraction. It's way easier. Step 3, we square it. So 5 over 2 squared gives us 25 over 4. And look how clean that result is. Yeah, it's got fractions, but it's perfect. X squared plus 5x plus 25 fourths. And what does it factor to? You guessed it, x plus 5 over 2 squared. The pattern is undefeated. It's always x plus half of b squared.
Okay, so you've totally got the process down now. But before we move on, let's talk about a couple of super common traps people fall into. If you can sidestep these 2 little mistakes, you'll be unstoppable.
This first one is by far the biggest mistake people make. They forget the last step. They see x squared plus 6x, they do the first part, half of 6 is 3, and then they just add the 3. No, remember the chant, half of b, then squared. You gotta do that last step. The magic number you add is the 9, not the 3.
And here's the second little pitfall, getting mixed up with signs. So back in our level 2 problem, half of -10 was -5. It's really tempting to think that -5 squared is -25, but it's not. When you square any number, doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, the answer is always positive. The magic number you add is always a plus. So we've totally mastered the pattern, we know the mistakes to avoid, but I bet there's a part of you asking, okay, but why? Why do I even need to know this? And that is an excellent question. This is where it all pays off.
Look, this isn't just some abstract math puzzle for a textbook. Completing the square is how you solve real-world problems. It's how physicists figure out the highest point a rocket will reach. It's how economists find the perfect price to charge for a product to make the most money. This is a seriously powerful tool.
And in the world of pure math, completing the square is like the engine that transforms one type of equation into another. It takes this clunky standard form and turns it into the super useful vertex form. And why is vertex form so great? Because it literally just tells you the vertex, the highest or lowest point, of a parabola, right there in the equation. It's amazing.
So what you've learned today isn't just a party trick. You've unlocked one of the most fundamental tools in all of algebra. In fact, this exact skill, this pattern, is how we build one of the most famous equations in history. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. Now that you can complete a square, do you think you're ready to build the quadratic formula?